Anyone who questions their safety should not be down here, full stop. Don't worry, we're locked in. So currently we are just leaving my house and we are going to Gloucester, where we are going to now explore what we've seen on Rightmove to see how it feels. And what I mean by that is you can decide on an area very easily, but when you walk it yourself, you'll realise if it's rough or not. What we don't want is to be buying houses and packaging deals in a really rough area. So what we really want is to be finding something in a nice area, not too nice, just outside of what we would call the Bronx. We don't want it to be too rough, because what will end up happening is you'll end up with a bad demographic of tenants. You'll end up with the copper pipes being ripped out of your house, boilers gone off the wall. We don't want that. This is Katie Wilson stock, this is. Love houses like this. My dad said to me, buy an ex-council house over a Victorian terrace house. So an ex-council house would be like the ones I just pointed out, and I'll come to them in a second. These are Victorian terraces, right? They're great houses, but these are local authority houses, and these houses are built exceptionally well. And basically what we've got here is ex-council stock, a whole estate of ex-council stock. These houses were built with massive budgets. The government had a lot more budget in the era that these were built, so they're built strong, they're built well, they've got plots, substantial plots around them, so they've got driveways, nice front gardens, they've got a bigger footprint, they don't struggle with damp as much. These houses don't tend to struggle with anything other than age, and they need some maintenance. Whereas you've got these here on the left, Victorian terraces. These houses struggle with damp. If they've not been repiped, there's a very good chance that they've got lead piping, so we're going to have it completely repiped. And the roofs, most of them probably need new roofs if they haven't had them. So local ex-authority, Katie loves. There's a reason Katie loves them. All of my portfolio looks like that, right? Victorian terrace, these ones here, still great houses, don't get me wrong, much smaller in footprint, don't appreciate as well, struggle from damp. A lot of them will need new roofs. These roofs are still going strong. Look, these are original roofs. Now, it'd be worth having a look at how much these are worth, because don't forget, this is my first day ever in this area. I've never been here before. But what I do know is that this estate is big enough. Look at this. Stock, council stock, all down there, council stock. 325 grand. These houses, this is too expensive, right? So what we worked out earlier when we did our research is that up to 250 grand, we had a good, I can't remember how many number pages, but we had enough stock to be able to find something. And this is lovely. I mean, these houses are prime for single lets, splitting them into flats, HMOs, service accommodation. You could do anything with these. They're really flexible, adaptable houses. But looking at how much they're worth, 362 grand, 362 grand, 325 grand, we're just a little bit too high. So this is the perfect example of we're past the sweet spot, we've gone into nice, and what we want to do is just take it back a bit and find that sweet spot where we're just right, which is not here. So where we're coming up to now is what we would definitely call the Bronx. In fact, what I'm going to suggest we do is drive slowly through it and not stop. I know this because I have been round here with an agent. I came to look at one property, and when the agent sits you down and tells you how rough the area is and that you are at risk with the viewing of the area, you know it's too rough. You will see this in a minute when we turn this corner. Even in rough areas, you've got nice streets. I would say that this street is a nice street. It's all about the further you go in to an estate, the rougher it's going to be. Would I want to invest here? Not really. Literally on the other side of that dual carriageway, it's lovely. This side, a little bit rough. So this is the reason why this is rough, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people all standing on the street in the middle of the day when they should be at work. God knows what they're doing, and they're all looking at us a little bit dodgy. Don't worry, we're locked in. And if it comes to it, I will drive on. So we have trolleys outside the pub, not a good sign. Anyone who questions their safety should not be down here, full stop. This is not where you want to invest. but I'm not hanging about, so we'll do a Katie mofo moment. You can do everything from your laptop, and I'm a big ambassador for doing stuff at home and working smarter, not harder. However, there is that human element where you get a feel from walking around somewhere when you feel safe. This is that. This is just that. This is safe. This is nice. And we want to be just, let's mention this earlier, we want to be just outside of the Bronx, but not too nice, which is where we were before. So we want to walk it and make sure it feels right. If you don't feel safe walking down the street, you shouldn't be packaging here. We'll package a deal to an investor. Something bad will happen. The investor will get a bad taste in the mouth. And then what will happen is the investor will come back to the deal packager and say, you've sold me a lemon, which is not what we want to do. So let's take a walk and get a feel for this street. Yeah, toy cars lot in the window, which says that if that was a rough area, people wouldn't do stuff like that and put it in the windows. The thing to be conscious of is that a lot of these will be listed. I don't mean one and not the other, they're either all listed or they're not, which means that you can have some challenges with materials that you have to use because it's a listed building. There's lots of restrictions, which, to be honest, I don't really touch. So these houses, the stock is brilliant for potentially doing them as split apartments or HMOs. Okay, a couple of them are a bit run down, but the challenge that you have with HMOs is parking. Parking. These would have been gardens, they're now turned into parking. That's brilliant. So these would work. See, the great thing about these properties is you can take them at market value, do them up, add value, and then rent them out as HMOs by the room. So you're renting per room per week and make much more cash flow than you would as a single property. The possibilities are endless with these big properties. So where do we go from here? So what we do is two things. The first is we go back to Rightmove and have a look at this specific area on the map, see what's for sale, see if there's anything where there's a problem property or a problem person. We could go into the estate agents and ask if there's anything coming up, or to build the relationships for anything that might come up in these areas and be known for the person who buys in these areas. And we can do direct to vendor marketing, but that's for another time. So we've now started this challenge in a brand new area where nobody knows my name, where we are going to be finding incredible property deals. I've got 2 viewings lined up for tomorrow morning, and I'm going to be sharing with you exactly what happens on those viewings. And that's exactly why you cannot miss a video. So you need to make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I've been Katie Wilson, and I'll see you in the next video.